God, why?
You said you needed some help with something. What's going on?
Something's happened. Oh, a real mess. And I need help from someone reliable.
What is it?
When I was fishing around for information about Liechtenstein, I cast the net a bit too wide. And one of the servant girls I questioned was just found dead.
You think she was killed because of you?
I don't know. If I did, I wouldn't be asking you for help.
I'll help you. Tell me all about it. Who was this dead girl?
Her name was Alice. She was an ordinary, pretty girl. She worked as a maid. I heard they found her all hacked up, tossed somewhere by the town wall. Oh, folk in town are saying it was absolute slaughter. They took the body to the morgue by the St. Peter and St. Paul cemetery.
I'll go take a look at her. See if I can find anything.
I think that would be for the best. Though, I don't think it'll be a very pretty sight. You can ask the gravedigger for details. He'll know the most.
When did you last see the girl?
Around a week ago?
And did you notice anything suspicious about her?
Not at all. She was always cheerful, lively. She was looking forward to a dance. Though I'm afraid she won't be dancing ever again.
What was Alice trying to find out for you?
She always brought me the freshest gossip overheard from her master. And lately, what the other maids in town were saying.
And did you learn anything important from her? Something someone would kill her for?
That's the thing. All she brought me was gossip. Who was cheating on who wasn't going to confession, those sorts of things. So you'll have to figure out the rest for yourself.
What about your other girls? Are they all right?
Yes, fortunately. I'm careful enough to keep them pretty much in the dark about my plans. That's why Alice's death shocked me so much.
Do you think there could be something bigger behind the murder?
I don't know. Maybe she just got caught up in something. But it's strange. Why would someone do her like that? That's the kind of thing you do when you want to send someone a message.
What are you going to do next?
I'd like to ask the others if they noticed anything suspicious. If someone is following them and the like, but...
But you don't want to scare them?
I'm scared myself. For them. Maybe nobody knows about them yet. If someone was to follow me, I could give them away. And I can't risk that. I don't want anyone else to die because of me.
What if I go and see them?
They don't know you, Henry. You'd only scare them. I'll figure something out. In the meantime, find out everything you can about Alice.
Why did you ask me in particular for help?
Because you're the only one I know here.
Aha.
But don't take it the wrong way. I'm actually glad it's you. You're pretty reliable. Not even Zhishka would be of much help to me here.
Aha. Thanks. I know everything I need.
Good. Go to that graveyard, talk to the gravedigger, and take a look at that poor girl's body. In the meantime, I'll try to find out more. Then we'll put it all together, and I'll be damned if we can't come up with something.
Taking their time again.
Good doggy. Good boy.
Oh, it's you. Back already?
Looks like it, doesn't it?
It sure does. Go on then.
So, let's see what we have here. My God! Someone really did a number on her. Oh, they ripped open her entire belly. And they didn't stop there. There must have been buckets of blood. Jesus Christ. There's hardly any blood left in her. The place they found her must look like a slaughterhouse. I should go there and take a look. These are more like chops than cuts. Somebody must have taken a sword to her. Knife wounds would be smaller, and an axe would have made a bigger mess. But it couldn't have been a long sword. That would have been clumsy. It was something shorter and nimbler. God, that madman cut off both her breasts and bits of flesh. But what did he do with it all afterwards? Did he really keep all the pieces? Nobody could be that sick, could they? Her lips are bloody, but nothing more. Tongue still in place. But if he killed her for blabbing, I reckon he'd have cut out her tongue or something, wouldn't he? Her face is a little bruised and cut, but nobody cut her there. But she has a dark ring around her neck. Was she strangled? The murderer must have had pretty strong hands, and her hair is all matted with blood and hacked off. I don't even know what colour it was. Maybe there's something more to it. What if the murderer kept her hair like some kind of sick trophy? Just some scratches and bruises, that's all. The killer probably surprised her. She didn't even have time to defend herself. So, the murderer must have awfully strong hands, because he strangled her and left a dark ring around her neck. Then he took a short sword or saber and started hacking at her. She's missing parts of her torso, but they aren't by the body. He also cut off most of her hair. He cut off her breasts, but left her tongue, then left her lying there for all to see. To send a message, maybe? Or a warning? Only if it was a warning for telltales, he would have cut out her tongue or something, wouldn't he? I don't know why he killed her, but I don't think it's because of Catherine. What's the matter? Did you know her?
Alice. She was almost like a sister to me. We served together for years, in the same house. Why'd you ask? Who are you?
I'm trying to find out who did this to her. I'm afraid the killer might want to go after my friend as well.
Ah, I understand.
Who did you serve?
Our master is a local merchant. He is trying his hand at trading wine.
How did Alice get along with your master?
Fine. Just like with everyone. Our master is a bit strict, but he's fair.
What's his name? Can I speak to him?
Why? But you can't see him anyway. He's on a trade trip to Prague.
It occurred to me that maybe he could have done it.
He couldn't. He was gone when it happened. He hadn't been home in several weeks. And besides, why would he kill them others too? He never even knew them.
What others?
You haven't heard. A few girls, like our Alice, died before. All really pretty girls.
Do you know of any suitors she might have had?
I know she was seeing someone. Why?
I'd like to talk to him as well.
But I don't know who it was. Alice said he was rich and dressed nicely. But she promised him she'd never tell anyone his name.
And you never saw him?
No, never. I don't even know where she met with him.
Do you know what exactly happened to Alice?
No. Nobody saw or heard nothing. One day, she just didn't come home. And then, they found her. Like this.
It's awful what they did to her.
She was such a pretty girl. And that beautiful brown hair of hers. And it didn't even leave that untouched. Who could have cut off her hair like that? And why? None of it makes sense.
So, I'll leave you to mourn in peace now.
Good day to you.
You must be the local gravedigger.
That's right. They call me František. At least them that can speak do. Ha!
I'm Henry.
Greetings, Henry. What do you need?
That dead girl you have in the morgue. Alice.
You've seen her? Poor thing. Who could have done such a thing?
Well, that's what I'm trying to find out. Do you know anything about her?
She's gone to meet her maker. What more do you want to know? You want to take away a piece of her? Well, you can't. Not a hair off her head, a bloody scrap of cloth or a thumb. You hear?
I don't want to take anything. I need to find something out.
Like what exactly?
Who killed her?
Why?
Well, I'm worried something might happen to my friend.
That's true. She wasn't the first, and we can only pray that she'll be the last. It's true that Lumiere ain't shown no interest in her yet. I wouldn't expect that from him no more.
Who's this Lumiere? Another one of those gawkers and collectors?
No. He actually tried to help.
Help? How?
Well, he was investigating them others.
Right. You said she wasn't the first.
Aye. We had a couple of similar cases. Lumiere said they was all killed by the same murderer.
And how did he come to that conclusion?
How do I know? Best ask Lumiere yourself.
Do you remember how many girls were killed?
You mean you don't know nothing about it? Here, even the sparrows are squawking about it.
I haven't been in Kuttenberg very long.
I see. There's been one every few weeks for the past year.
Do you know where the last one got killed?
I heard some talk about it when they brought her here. But what do you want to do there?
Look for clues. Footprints, blood, anything.
That can help you.
That's worth a try.
I heard she was killed by the town walls, close to the Hole in the Wall, a dodgy tavern in the Hoprink neighborhood.
Thanks. What's this Lumiere got to do with this?
Well, like I told you, he used to work for the bailiff. I think he was a scribe.
A scribe keeps records in the Black Chronicle, though I've never heard of one doing his own investigations.
Well, the old bailiff wasn't all that interested in the common folk. But Lumiere, he was quite helpful. Folk heard about it and went to him with whatever was troubling them.
I'd like to speak with Lumiere. Do you know where I can find him?
At his home in Bohemia Street, that's near the church. You won't find him at the bailiff's no more. I don't know exactly why, though. Seems he had some quarrel with the bailiff.
Thanks. You've been a big help.
It's my pleasure, especially helping someone from the land of the living again. Actually, wait a mo. Speaking of the living, there's a girl what comes here and grieves over that dead maid. I think her name is Barbara.
I know. I've already spoken to her.
Aha. Good then. Lots of luck to you.
This is the place. There's a lot of blood and some footprints. I'm not sure how much more I'll be able to find. Christ, that's a lot of blood. But after seeing what they did to the girl, I'm not surprised. not sure I'll be able to find any remains. I wonder what happened to them. It's hard to make out, but I think I see some slashing from a blade. I can't make anything out of this. The whole town's been walking around here. There could have been one killer or a dozen. I'm surprised I haven't completely trampled out the blood. So, there's still a lot of blood left, but I expected even more. I found some faint blade marks. Either the others were trampled out, or someone skilled was wielding it. It didn't look to me like any remains were left lying around. I've no idea what he did with them. Did he keep them or throw them away?
Where did you get that new bench? Ours is all creaky, and I keep getting splinters from it.
Nowhere. I made it myself.
Lumiere?
Oh. Christ, my head. Not so loud.
I need to ask you something.
I said not so loud. I have a splitting headache.
That's some hangover. He's useless to me like this. Unless I'm willing to wait for him to sleep it off, I'll have to get him some kind of cure or potion. This should sober him up. Here. Drink up. Better?
What? Who? What are you doing here? Who are you?
My name is Henry.
And what do you want from me?
I'm trying to find out who killed a certain girl. And I was sent to you.
To me? What for?
Are you Lumiere from the Rat House? The scribe?
I used to be. Now I'm just Lumiere the Madman.
They say that about you. Why?
Because I was just on some wild goose chase. And what came of it? Absolutely nothing.
But I need your help.
If I were you, lad, I'd leave it be. You can't help that girl anymore, anyway. You'll just end up hurting yourself.
Come now, Lumiere.
Poor girls. Nobody was all that interested in it, except for me. We let it be in the end. We let a monster walk among us. No way. You can't solve this yourself.
I'm not doing it for myself. I'm afraid he might kill one of my friends.
A friend, eh? That's not good. Not good at all. I searched high and low. And what did I get out of it? Just mockery. What makes you think you can find out more than I did?
Because I'm stubborn, and I don't have any other choice. I'll get to the truth no matter what.
You think that will suffice?
If not, I'd have been dead long ago. Bled out from a human arrow.
All right. Talk to me. Who was this dead girl?
Her name was Alice. She worked as a maid.
A maid? That fits. Yarka was a maid too. As were most of the other victims. What did she look like? What did he do to her?
I think that he strangled her first, and then went at her with a longer blade and disemboweled her.
Did you notice the strangulation right away? It took me a while. Maybe you really will track him down.
Do you think it's the same murder?
Counting your girl, that makes 6 victims who were first strangled and then mutilated. If it's not all the same person, they must be collaborating somehow.
This is the 6th one. How long has he been killing?
Probably about a year now. Sometimes it takes him months, sometimes weeks. But I'm including missing girls. Stanya and Zdena.
Why are you counting the missing girls?
Because I think someone killed them, and we just haven't found them yet.
Did the dead girls have anything in common?
Aside from being pretty young girls with no proper family or background, no. I couldn't find much.
Do you think somebody is killing them because they're poor and nobody will miss them?
Certainly. If somebody killed the daughter of a local lord, no stone would be left unturned.
But why does he even kill in the first place?
I don't know. Maybe he hates women. Damn it. I feel like I'm going in circles and can't get out.
What can you tell me about Yarka?
She wasn't the first. But thanks to her, people started taking an interest. She was a maid in a German family. By all accounts, she was a pious, polite girl. She was orphaned as a child. The priest from the church of St. Peter and Paul, Father Prokop, raised her. They found her body tossed behind a barn at the edge of town. She was cut all the way from her neck downwards. An awful sight to behold.
Did you have any suspects?
At first, I thought the son from that family did it. A murderer is usually someone close, you know. But then I changed my mind.
Why?
Well, for one, I remembered the two girls before her who ended up almost the same. Besides that, when I talked to the lad, he seemed he wasn't the least bit interested in Yarka. Then his mother told me that they threw her out a week before the murder because she was a harlot who stayed out till all hours of the night. That really surprised me, because Father Prokop had vouched for her good reputation. But who knows? Maybe he just didn't want to admit what had become of her.
What about Stanya?
She was an alehouse wench in a tavern of ill repute called the Hole in the Wall.
You said her body was never found. Maybe she just got out of town.
You have no idea how much I'd like to believe that. Only there was a lot of blood. Unfortunately, the investigation wasn't very successful. The Hole is a world of its own, and the people there aren't very forthcoming with information.
Did you suspect anybody?
You could suspect every second man there. Those people have nothing but thievery and deceit in their eyes. The innkeeper, Mole, definitely knew Stanya, since she worked for him. But he isn't all that chatty either.
So if I want to learn anything more, I have to ask this mole in the hole.
Yeah, he still runs the place.
Dig in, puppy dog.
And what about the other two victims?
It all started with them, though nobody did much about it at the time. The first one worked as a bathhouse maid. They called her Chestnut. She'd only been in town for a short while, and nobody really knew her, so I couldn't find out anything more. But the other one, Libushka, she was from Loretz. She was a maidservant, too. I also talked to her mother. She said she was really cheerful and outgoing. There were lots of suitors circling around her, but she refused them all. She knew she was pretty and knew she could do better than some farmhand.
You mean she wanted someone higher up?
That's what it sounded like. But her mother never found out who she had her eye on.
Interesting. I'll try to see what else I can find out from the mother. Where can I find her?
In the graveyard, lad. The poor woman died of grief. It's sad to say, but we can't help those two dead girls now. And they can't help us with our investigation either. There's nobody else left who could tell us anything about them.
And what about that Zdena? You said her body was never found.
Exactly. But to tell the truth, nobody spent much time looking for it. Besides Alice, Zdena was the most recent victim. It's only been a few weeks since she went missing, but I suppose nobody wanted to do any more digging.
But if her body was never found, how do you know she was killed?
Because she was the same type as the other girls. Maybe the prettiest of them all. Young, beautiful. A real live one. Lively as the devil. She was a thief. A pickpocket. I never could pin it on her, though. She always found some way to get out of it.
Maybe she robbed the wrong people and had to get out of town.
Maybe. She had a partner in crime by the name of Strunad. Quite a number. He's always sitting in the hole, boozing. When I asked him about Zdena, he told me he'd rather rip his own tongue out than talk.
Do you think he'd be more forthcoming with me?
He might be. You're not known all over town like a catchpole. It's worth a try. Besides, it might still be fresh in his memory. That would be a great help.
Did you have any suspects back then?
You can always find some suspect. I always dragged the most suspicious ones to the body in the morgue by force. And they threw up at the sight. Or fainted.
Couldn't it have just been an act?
Fainting? Vomiting? That's hard to act. I'd swear none of them did it.
Why were you looking into it? Who were those dead girls to you?
I don't know what people told you about me, but for many long years I was a scribe for Kuttenberg's bailiff. Kuttenberg is a big city with a lot of people. Silver, silver, silver. Mining it, smelting it, stealing it. There's always something going on. The bailiff was always running from hell to Hades, from one rich man to another, settling their quarrels. Often trivial nonsense.
But there are more than just rich burghers and lords in the city.
Exactly. There are common folk too. There's a lot more of them, and their troubles are usually more serious. So when one of them came to the bailiff's one time, and the bailiff was running around somewhere, I started to deal with it myself. I was pretty good at it too.
Behind the bailiff's back?
Not really. Andreas supported my activities until recently.
What happened?
I don't want to talk about it. Sorry.
Can you sum it all up for me?
We have 6 victims here, and I believe they were all murdered by the same killer. Unfortunately, we only know a little about the last 4, the most recent ones. By now, we won't learn anything about the first 2. Of the remaining 4, the first to be killed was the maidservant, Yarka. She was raised by Father Prokop from the Church of St. Peter and Paul. He should know the most about her. The next were Stanya and Zdena. Their bodies weren't found, but we assume they also became victims of the same murderer. They both hung around a tavern they called the Hole in the Wall. Stanya was an alehouse maid, and Zdena a pickpocket. And the last victim is Alice now, also a maid. What they all have in common is that they were young, beautiful, and brunette.
Good. I know everything I need to know.
When you learn something more, stop by and see me. You've aroused a bit of hope in me, lad. I hope you won't disappoint me.
We beseech thee, O Lord, thy Good day to you. What brings you here?
Father, I need to ask you a few questions.
I don't have time for theological discussions, my son.
That's not why I'm here. My name's Henry, and I wanted to ask about the murder that happened recently. Someone killed and gutted a young maidservant and left her body lying by the city walls. And I hear it's not the first time this has happened.
Another one murdered. May the Lord grant her eternal rest. Why is it you ask?
I fear for my sister. She's also a maid.
Yes. Fear for those close to you is commendable. What would you like to hear?
One of the other victims was a girl named Yarka. But I reckon you know that, don't you? What can you tell me about her?
About Yarka? She was an ordinary girl. She served the von Groll family.
Where did you know Yarka from?
I knew her since she was a little girl. Knew her family.
And?
I was her uncle. When my brother and his wife died, I took care of her.
You raised her? A priest with a child?
Yes. Unfortunately, I'm not the first of the clergy to have a child on the side. But at least everyone knew Yarka wasn't my own daughter.
How does that even work? Did you have her with you at the presbytery?
When she was small, I could. But when she grew up, she had to go. It wouldn't look right.
No offence, but how did you know what to do? Without a wife, without a family? I would have been lost.
I was a bit, When she was smaller, it was fine, but when she grew up a bit, maybe I was too hard on her.
Why do you think you were too hard on her?
Yarko was an orphan, with no family and no possessions. Her only chance of a good life was a good upbringing. And then, a husband. But the more I led her in that direction, the more she resisted me.
How did she rebel against you?
She wouldn't listen. She ran away. She ran around with all sorts. And how did it turn out? She died. And in sin. Such a disgrace.
Disgrace? What the devil are you talking about?
She was pregnant! Even if she had lived, what then? Nobody would want to marry her anymore.
You're well off, though. Couldn't you provide for her?
I couldn't. Even if she had been my very own. More so, since she was my brother's.
But how come?
The church's property always remains the church's. They keep a close eye on that.
Why don't you respect Lumiere?
That's my business. You needn't concern yourself about that. I won't tell you anything.
But this is important. Do I look like someone who's asking out of curiosity?
All right. Lumiere accused me of her murder.
What?
Yes. He slandered me in public.
And how... What happened then?
It turned out he was deranged. How could he even think such a thing? He's finished in Kuttenberg.
Who do you think killed her?
William, that pig of Satan. He gambles in the tavern on All Saints' Day and leads the locals astray. Yarka always went there to listen to music. I'm sure he got her with child.
Why do you think it was William? Do you have any evidence?
Evidence? He's a skirt chaser, a tool of Satan. He messes with poor girls' heads.
And does anyone else come to mind? No other man spoke with her?
No, absolutely not.
I've heard enough, Father. I'll be going.
Son, I'll give you some good advice. Don't listen to Lumiere. That man has gone completely mad.
You shouldn't be walking around by yourself.
Are we going to have gruel again tonight?
Aye, of course.
Christ. Greetings. What do you need?
Did Estanya work here?
Stanya. Maybe. It depends on who's asking.
My name's Henry.
Names don't interest me. The main thing is whether it's a good guest or a bad guest asking. What kind of guest are you, Henry?
I'm a good guest.
Really? Let's see. Do you know how to recognize a good guest?
By the fact he spends a lot of coin?
Aye. I like talking to them kind of guests. A lot. So, what'll it be, my good man?
What if I simply paid you and you tell me what I want to know?
Ask away.
I want to know if Stanya worked here.
She did. And she don't know more. What's it to you?
I heard she disappeared without a trace. So I'm trying to find out if anyone had anything to do with it.
It's possible. The chamber she was sleeping in here was totally ransacked. The door open, everything emptied out, and Stanya was gone. All I found were bloody footprints.
Tell me something else.
First, you'll have another beer. Or is it time to pay?
What?
If you want to ask, you have to drink. Didn't you get that?
You're quite the extortionist.
I prefer to be called an enterprising man of trade. So, what'll it be?
I don't want to pay you any more. I think you could answer my questions directly and not always try to wheedle money out of me. That makes it look like you might have some motive for keeping me from finding out anything about that murder.
Nonsense. How could you think that? Come on. Ask me anything you want.
Did anybody see what actually happened when Stanya disappeared?
No, it was at night. Nobody saw or heard anything. The tavern tends to be empty at that hour. And you won't meet many people on the street, neither.
What was Stanya like? What can you tell me about her?
A bold woman. One has to be here. Everyone's ballsy here unless you nip it in the bud right away. She was hanging around a bard for a while. I don't know how close they were, but she also had another suitor.
Someone from the city?
No, a charcoal burner. I heard he was from somewhere in the, Verchlitz Valley. I think his name was Barton?
What do you know about that bard?
What about him? He's a minstrel, a skirt chaser. What more can I say? He called himself William. As far as I know, he plays in the Miners' Tavern in the evenings. But sometimes he shows up here, too.
You think he might have been the one who...
Now that you mention it, he cleared out of town for a while and only came back not long ago. It could be him, all right. I know he met with some odd people and talked about God knows what, like bloody spies. Besides, you know what minstrels are like. Lasses just flock to them. And like they say, opportunity makes the thief.
Or in this case, a murderer. Apart from those men, did anyone else know Stanya? I mean, more intimately.
Well, I got bad news for you. She had 2 close friends, but you won't get much out of either of them.
Why?
One was hit by a cart, even before Stanya disappeared, and she died. And the other one got married and moved away.
How did Stanya's room look?
The door was wide open. Most of her things were gone, but some remained. And there was blood all over the place.
Blood? Was there a lot?
Not so much, really. More like hand or footprints. But they were near everywhere. If someone done her in, they definitely didn't do it in that chamber.
Where can I find this Barton?
I already told you. In the Verchlitz Valley.
Could you be a bit more precise?
I don't know that bloke at all. All I know is he's a charcoal burner. So if I was you, I'd look somewhere around the charcoal kilns.
That's all I need to know. I'm looking for someone named Stanya.
You're in a charcoal camp, fella. What would a woman be doing here?
But you know Stanya, don't you?
Aye. You could say that. Why?
I'm looking for the killer of a girl in town. And I heard that someone also tried to kill this Stanya.
That's true. She told me something like that. But that was a long time ago.
So you don't know what became of her?
I really don't know, mate. But even if I did know, how can I be sure you aren't that killer?
Lumir himself, the Kuttenberg bailiff's former scribe, gave me the task. He was looking into her disappearance, and he sent me to find her.
Well, I don't know. I remember Lumir. He was alright. That's all true, but...
But what? What are you still brooding over?
You seem like the right man for a job like that. Sorry, but after all that happened to Stanya, I like to be careful.
So Stanya is here?
Aye. She's hiding with us. Since that thing happened, she's afraid to even go outside. I don't know what to do with her anymore.
Can I speak to her?
If it'll help you. She's hiding in that cottage, but be nice to her. She's in a bad way. She used to be such a gutsy girl. Be with you, good sir.
My respects.
What have you found, boy?
Who are you? How did you find me? If you came here to finish what you started, I'm not afraid of you. I'll claw your eyes out.
Don't be afraid. Barton told me where to find you.
Barton sent you to me. What do you want from me?
Lumir thought you were dead. I was supposed to find out what happened to you.
Lumir? From the rat house. He sent you.
Exactly. Someone killed a girl in Kuttenberg. Lumir thought it might be connected with you, so maybe you could help us find out who did it.
How can I help you when I haven't been in Kuttenberg since... I don't even know when.
You disappeared from the hole in the wall without saying goodbye. Without a word. What happened?
Someone attacked me when I was coming home from the baths one night. I managed to get away, but I was so afraid, I decided to run away from Kuttenberg.
Did you see who it was?
Not at all. I didn't see anything until he jumped out of the shadows and grabbed me around the neck. And he was terribly strong. I nearly blacked out right away.
And how did you manage to break free?
I had an empty pitcher in my hand, and I hit him with it. He howled and let me go, and I ran away.
Here? To the charcoal burners?
No, first to my room in the hole. But I was so scared there. I took what I could and ran. Here, to Barton.
And your lover? What did he say?
At first he was horrified, because I had cut myself on a shard from the pitcher and was all bloody. He's been hiding me here since then.
What was it like working in the hole?
Well, I earned a few groschen, that I did. But I often had to grit my teeth.
How so?
Every single day I had to put up with their lewd remarks. Rich or poor, everyone wants to grope a girl. People, well, us girls have to watch out. We can't just put up with it, and sometimes we have to be tough, especially in a place like the hole. But you can't overdo it either. That's no good.
How so?
Because if you smile at them nicely, then sometimes they leave a groschen, or even two. You have to keep a balance. To look friendly, but unavailable.
You said that rich or poor, they all like to grope girls. Like who?
Truth be told, the hole isn't exactly a good place for a rich man, but young von Groll used to go there for a while.
Is that so? Did he talk to you?
He smiled at me a lot, so I smiled back, but beyond a few groschen, there was nothing more to it. Then this thieving wench started hanging around him and... oh, it doesn't matter. But that servant of his didn't like it, tried to drive her away, and so the young lord stopped bringing him with him.
Von Groller had a servant with him?
Aye, a pudgy fella, well-dressed, but had a mean face. He never said a word or smiled, or even said thank you.
You walked home from the baths at night?
What's so odd about that?
Well, at night, the baths are...
Ah, right. I went there after closing. I always brought the girls a pitcher of wine or ale and took a bath while they drank it.
Ah. So that's why you had the empty pitcher you hit him with?
Right. I went there regularly. Every week.
The same way every time?
Aye, always the same way. The shortest one. I didn't want to stay out too long at night.
And who knew that you went by yourself to the baths?
Well, everyone from the tavern, I reckon. I didn't hide it.
How are you now?
I'm still awful scared. I can't fall asleep knowing that, and I can't even really leave the house.
Why didn't you go back to the hole?
Just to get murdered there? Are you mad? I'm never going back there. Not until they catch him.
Do you remember anything important about the attacker? What he looked like? What he was wearing?
I don't know anything. It was at night. He grabbed me from behind, and then I ran and never turned back.
And what about when you hit him? What did he do?
He let me go and cursed.
Aha, and what did he say?
He said Scheisse in German.
Seems you're the only one to survive the killer's attack. I know it isn't easy for you to think about it, but try to remember something else about that moment, or when you were running away. Anything can help us, even if it seems insignificant.
I don't know. It's all like in a fog.
You were walking down the street. Did you notice anything before he attacked you?
No, nothing.
You didn't see anything or hear anything?
Actually, I knew the side street wasn't empty. I heard somebody talking, but when I looked, there was nobody there. So when somebody grabbed me, I completely froze.
Did you understand what they were talking about?
Not at all. But there were two voices. Two of them waiting for me there.
I heard William was spying for someone.
William, please.
You don't think so?
He just likes to boast, trying to be interesting and woo some girls.
So it's bullshit?
Absolutely. Have you ever seen a spy that told everybody he was a spy?
Couldn't it have been Father Prokop?
Father Prokop? I don't know him.
Well, he's pretty old. He preaches in the Church of St. Peter and St. Paul.
I don't know him, and if he's an old man, how strong could his grip really be?
Couldn't it have been that innkeeper then? You yourself said he's a pig.
Aye, when he drinks, he turns into a total bastard. All lewd remarks and groping fingers. The lecher. Only when I got to my room, I could hear him snoring. It couldn't have been him.
It's difficult, I understand. But I need you to think hard one more time. Aside from those voices and the empty street, what else do you remember?
I didn't hear him at all, and then he grabbed me.
And nothing else? Did he grab your hair?
Well, no. He grabbed me by the throat right away and squeezed. Just for a moment, but I still had a big bruise round my neck for weeks. Barton said the man must have had a terribly strong grip, like a miner or swordsman.
I reckon that'll be all.
I'm sorry I'm not able to help you more.
You don't need to apologise.
Thank you. Could I ask you for a favour?
If it's in my power.
When you catch that bastard, would you please let me know? So I can finally stop being afraid.
I'll stop by if I can.
Your father's still alive, isn't he?
Aye, but he drooled.
Are you Sternad? The one that went with Zdena?
Who the fuck are you?
Just an ordinary bloke who has some questions.
Well then, piss off. You won't get any answers here. All you're gonna get here is a kick in the teeth.
Better men have tried it than a cock puller like you.
Cock puller? I'll fucking pull your cock clean off. Mercy! Leave me be!
Well, had enough?
Fuck yeah, damn it. What the hell do you want from me?
Talk. Where's Zdena?
The last time I saw her, it's a long time ago, she scored big. Everyone was fucking jealous. She just needed to pawn it off.
And where did she go with her loot? Do you know?
Well, she had some kind of arrangement with this fella called Pint from the mill. The one called Rabstein. She always took the stuff to him.
Do you remember what she managed to steal?
Mainly jewels. Gold and silver. No bloody pewter. She had some fucking huge golden signet ring. A bloke could fuck for a whole month with something like that.
Do you know whose crest was on it?
I don't know, I'm no expert. But it were bloody expensive, that's for sure.
Do you know who she took it off?
She always said she found it on the street. That's because if the wrong ears hear it, you can end up in the shit. Or on the gallows even.
Did she hang out with any men?
She liked to hang around with that crooner that plays for the miners in that tavern of theirs. Made him sing songs and that. Oh, and once she got in a quarrel with that fucking priest Prokop. That was a laugh.
Could she have run away with that bard?
I doubt it. He was a bit of a milksop. He tried to be all mysterious and played a tough fella, but you could see he was lying. And Zdena could see right through him, I bet.
Why do you think so?
Because he was getting on my nerves, so I cornered him in a dark alley one time. He ran away so fast, I bet he shit himself.
And what about this priest? Why was he quarrelling with her?
I don't know. He was blabbering some shit about finding her a job, only she didn't want it.